and we're live. Welcome, everyone. I'm Catherine Heeg, and with me here today is Dan Chappell. Hey, Dan.
Hey, everybody.
It's so great to be here. Now, we decided to do this because as speakers and trainers, we both hear some great questions from travel pros. What I hear most often from travel advisors is them asking how to gain more clients. Huge question. Dan, what do you hear?
Well, I hear the same thing. In fact, it's a challenge in almost any business that's out there, but there are ways that you can go about getting new clients that aren't going to cost you a lot of money, but you're going to get engaged with people. So the real question here is how do I get to those people that we have out there? And we've all had particular people that come up to us and they are close to us and they always ask us, hey, could you plan this vacation for me? Can you give me some information? And then you never hear from them again, right?
Yeah.
Happens all the time.
Huge problem, isn't it? Well, that's why we decided to team up today and go live, because both of us are excited to share some insider secrets. Now, a little bit of housekeeping before we get going. During this live broadcast, please use the comment box on your screen and type in your questions. Dan and I will try and get to as many of them as we can in our 20-minute power session today. And plus, you're welcome to reach out to us afterwards as well. So Dan, from a traditional old school marketing standpoint, what's the easiest way to earn new clients?
Well, the easiest way is really to take advantage of your existing clients. So it's been statistically proven, as I said, that you're going to have friends and family that come up and milk you for information and never book from you. Well, roughly about 15% of the people that are going to book with you. But the real money is at what we call the second and third level, the people that they know and might not know. About 65 to 70% of your potential sales can come from that level. So the real key is to get out there and try and reach those people. And you do that through referral marketing.
That's very cool. Why is it so important to reach that second and third level?
Well, as I said, you get a good portion of your potential business is going to be at that level because they're the ones who, just like the people close to you, book somewhere else because they want to book. They don't want to jeopardize the relationship that they have with you. So they go to somebody that they barely know. And so the same thing is going to be true at that second and third level. The key is to ask them for the referral to get there. And you do that by asking very specific questions based on who your target audience is and what you want to sell. Who do you know that would benefit from my services as a river cruise specialist or as a land tour specialist? Would you mind giving me their contact information? Or if you could refer them to me, I'll be sure and use your name to make that introduction. And we call that a warm lead. So it's not cold calling. It's not cold anything. It's you're being referred out. So this is an old school way of going about doing this, and that's picking up the phone or shooting an email over. But there's got to be some social marketing ways that you can reach that second and third level as well. How would you handle that, Catherine?
That's a great question, Dan. It's so easy with social because, like many of us, our friends are like us in so many ways. Now, for those of you who know me, I love to travel. I love to be outdoors, hike and cycle and be outside. And I love learning about new places. So the chances are that your clients' Facebook fans have similar interests as they do. So the really cool thing is when you boost a post from your Facebook business page, you have the option to select to boost this post to people who like your page and their friends. So that's assuming that your fans' friends, say that 3 times fast, are a lot like them in their interests. And those are going to be the perfect clients for you. Dan, that's exactly what you're doing from an old school standpoint by reaching out to those people from a social perspective. So when you go and boost a post, just make sure that you click the option to show this post or boost this post to people who like your page and their friends. Test it out, spend a couple dollars on it. It's super easy. The thing is, you want to just make sure you have a quality post that you're sending out to them. It can't always be a sale or a promotion or an early booking bonus. Just like in old school, you wouldn't pick up the phone and say to somebody, hey, I've got this great sale. You're doing something else to entice them.
Right. Right. It's interesting that you say that about the boost, because, you know, I post articles and things on my business page quite often, and it always comes up. They always ask, would you like to boost this post? I didn't know what to do with it. You know, I don't know how much, you know, you have to pay. How many people do you reach? You know, I'm learning a lot just sitting here today doing that as well.
Well, that's the cool thing about it, because from your business page down, if you boost it to fans who like your page and their friends, you're going to be, it might not be as appropriate for you because a lot of your fans are travel professionals, but their friends aren't. So
Right.
for you and I, that's not very valuable. But for a travel professional, all the people that are listening in, it's a huge opportunity to reach that second and third level of people.
Wow. And that gives you the opportunity to expand your network out as well. Because
Yeah.
you know, really, it's the really cool thing about getting to that second and third level. And there are scripts that you know, we offer and stuff like that, or you can come up with your own. But the main thing is to ask for the referral, get to that level. And as I said, the cool part about that is they have their own network of people that they're close to, and so on and so on and so on. So once you get in and you start working your magic with them, you know, the possibilities are really endless between, you know, sending them an email, picking up the phone, reaching them through social marketing. You know, there's something that I think that I think that everybody might benefit from, because, you know, in a conversation we had earlier, I think it would really, you know, I'm going to do a similar type thing. And that's you know, we only have a certain size audience, certain amount of friends that we have. And so what is the best way, in your opinion, to really expand that reach so that we can find people who are like our friends, and that it's going to set up a big, much larger pool of prospects for us?
And that's the cool thing about social. You know, you talked about picking up the phone and having some scripts on what to say to these people. But with social, you can magnify that. It becomes, instead of, you know, this small of one phone conversation, it becomes huge, because the opportunity, not only from Boost Post, is huge. There's also something when you get into advertising, a regular ad using your business manager account, where you can set up look-alike audiences. And this is so slick, Dan. If you think about your own client list, you can put that client list into Facebook, into your business manager and ads manager account. And then Facebook matches that up with folks that are on Facebook, and matches them, and make sure that your list is clean. And then you can take that one step further and set up a look-alike audience. So what Facebook does then, it takes a look at the demographics, the interests, everything about that client list audience that you've put into Facebook, and it creates a new audience of people with similar interests. So it's really slick. So if your client list is made up of, say, people that love river cruising, and they're in a certain age group, and maybe they live in a certain area of the country or an area of your town, Facebook's going to go and mix and match and find people who look like those same people, and then give you a new audience called this lookalike audience. So that is sort of like going for your warm leads, but on steroids.
So we upload our client list to Facebook. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, cool. That is so cool. I didn't know you could do that. That's that. I think the potential there will then open up, you know, a huge audience. You know, when you get people who are similar to who your clients are, that means you're reaching the kind of people that you want to do business with. I love it. I think that's phenomenal. I think that's a fantastic way to do that. But one thing that I think I want to suggest is, remember, the last time I looked, for the most part, selling vacation travel is a contact sport. So that's you need to have a conversation back and forth between someone. It's, very rarely is it they just get online and book it themselves and they're done. It's an interaction. So it's important to, utilize, I think, both ways, expand your audience through the Facebook part, but also reaching out physically to your current client list. Or if you don't have a client list, just make a list of people that you're close to, because they have what the people, we call it the circle of influence, but they have people who are close, close to them. And, what we're talking about here is not necessarily just doing a broadcast saying, come book whatever you want to book with me. If you are a Cancun honeymoon specialist, you can ask specifically to your friends, family, and and your immediate circle of influence, who do they know that's getting married in the next 12 months? And get their contact information and reach out to them and use the name. The reason why this works so well and it's a warm introduction is you've got someone in between there that's kind of the connector as in the relationship. And that way, there's a certain amount of trust they probably have in the person who's referring you. So, you get that introduction, and you automatically are given the benefit of the doubt, rather than someone who's contacting you to be a part of that. You also have control. You're taking control of your business. So
absolutely. So Dan, can you give us some ideas of what somebody might say to an existing client to get that referral, and then what they might say to that second and third level person when they make that initial contact with them?
Sure. So the first thing you have to do is you have to ask. That's really where most people drop the ball in when they try to put this into practice. They'll put a line in their email. Hey, you know what? I've got your friendship and referrals are the world to me, that kind of thing. That's the greatest compliment you can give. Not a lot of people are going to react to that. So you have to be proactive and ask your client for the referral. And as long as they're happy with you, just ask them specifically, hey, you know what? You had a great time. I know you loved how well I took care of you. I'd love to take care of your friends. Who do you know that's looking to take a river cruise in the next 12 to 18 months? Oh, well, and then you pause for a minute, a few seconds, and let them think about it. And then they'll pop out a name in some way, shape, or form. And typically, then you'll ask for the contact information. They won't always do it. They may want to refer you somewhere else. But by nature, people like to help each other. And so you're not asking them to buy anything again from you right away. You're asking for their help. Who do they know who could benefit from your services? Now, when you contact that potential customer, that prospect, you call them up. I would call and send them an email, both on a two-prong approach here. But I would say something to the effect of, hey, I was just talking with our mutual friend, Mary, and she mentioned they just got back from their great river cruise in Europe. And she mentioned that you were looking at probably doing something in the next year or so. My name is Dan Chappelle. I'm with ABC Travel. I would love to have the opportunity to chat with you a little bit about river cruising and where you want to go. And so then you just take it and progressively go from there. So you're creating rapport first, then you get into the sales cycle. And part of that is just the prospecting and everything else that goes with it.
And that's awesome, Dan. I think so many people stumble with what to say and how to phrase it. So that to me is worth the 20 minutes of time that we're spending here today. That's phenomenal. And that's all about earning those warm leads,
Yeah.
And while you're doing that on the phone or you're doing that via email, you can also be doing that on social, because you can be messaging people on Facebook or tweeting with them or sending them a direct message. So that same type of conversation can happen on social, just like it's happening on the phone or via email.
So, Catherine, we've got maybe 5 minutes or so, I think, left to go. There's some questions here, and a lot of them, and I've got them here, so I'll read them too, because most of them are aimed towards you.
Okay.
And because I think these are important that we talk about. The question I'm seeing quite a bit here is, one, what if your client doesn't want to be uploaded to Facebook? But two, do we need their permission to upload your client list to Facebook? What happens when you upload the client list?
Great questions. I love those questions. I see that Lenny asked that question and some other people asked that question. So yeah, that's a great question. They are your client list. So you have, we're assuming that they've opted into your list and that they're clients of yours, that they're not just random people. So you can just go ahead and put that list into Facebook, and Facebook doesn't necessarily contact those people. It's up to you how you're going to use that list. So you have to be responsible in how you're using it. And the basis for that list and how you're going to use it is that you're going to be directing ads toward that person. So it's not as if you're going to be bombarding them, because a person in their right mind wouldn't be doing that. So you just have to be respectful of your clients and of their time, and show them information that you know is going to be relevant to them. And then
I'm sorry. I just had an epiphany here. It's very similar when we're part of a consortia to upload your client list so that they can handle the marketing for you. I think that's a good parallel there. What do you think?
It's a great parallel. That's exactly what it's like. So if you're comfortable giving your list to your host or consortia to carry on with their email marketing, then it's the same theory with Facebook.
Okay.
And then if you do that lookalike audience where you're looking for people who are similar to them, or if you're doing the boost post, we know that those people are going to be similar. So there's some relevance to that audience and some connection that they're going to have.
Right. So Laura's asking, I think you have to explain what a list is, and Lauren, I'm sorry, and how do you put the list? Lauren, I'm going to suggest you reach out to Catherine individually on this, because there's a step-by-step process that we don't really have time to go through. But feel free to go to Catherine's website, shoot her an email, and she'll be happy to walk you down through that. Jan's asking, how secure is the list with Facebook? I think it's secure. It's just as secure as it would be with any other type of marketing that you're uploading your list to through your consortia or everything else.
Yeah, and the value of that is that only you have access to that list. It's not as if other people on Facebook would have access to your audiences. Only you have access, so you need to be respectful of those people that are on your list and make sure that what you're sending them is relevant and timely.
Okay, Daniel's got a great question here. What type of post is most effective for boosting, since you have to pay?
Oh, great question, Daniel. Thank you for that. We've got like 1 minute to answer that. So I'll give you one quick tip. And that quick tip is to make sure that it's something that's informational, something that's exciting, but not always a sales message. So we don't want it to be $50 off of this or $100 early booking bonus. We want it to be something where they're being directed to other information, to your website, to your blog, where you're able to form a stronger relationship with those people. Right. So great question. And I hope these questions and comments and Dan's fabulous information has piqued your interest and given you some tips so that you can reach out to those warm contacts and use your list well and reach out to those warm leads and warm contacts. So Dan, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It's been wonderful. This is my very first Facebook Live, and it's been fantastic. So thanks for having me. I appreciate it. And everyone, the questions coming up about, a lot of people are asking about how to list on the instructions. We have your email address, so I think we'll be able to get in touch with each of you and let you know how to do that. So thanks so much.
And as long as we have a couple minutes, if there are any other questions or topics that you'd like for future Facebook Lives, please type those into the comment section. We'd love to hear them because, Dan, like you, I've had a great time doing this. It's tons of fun, and I hope we're bringing great value to people out there.
Fantastic. Well, I'm just skimming through the questions here real quick, and I think, oh, here's one. How much should we spend on a Facebook boost, and how long will it run?
Ooh.
If we've got enough time to answer that, that'd be great.
$1 million question. I'll throw out 2 tips. First off, test it out. Spend a couple of dollars, $2, $3, and see how it works for you. And as far as the time goes, yes, you can set the amount of days that that post goes live, or that the boost runs for. So you can set your budget and set your time limit. When you go into your Business Manager account and set up an official ad, you can even set what time that ad turns on and turns off, and schedule it for certain times of the day that you want it to run. So if you only want it to run between 9 and 5, you can set that up when you use Business Manager. And I bet you we are out of time, and I would just like to sign off before we get cut off here, Don. So thank you.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for joining us.